Hello guys and welcome back. In today's video I'm going to be showing you one HP laptop. It's a 15-inch with a Ryzen CPU, and these ones currently suffer from a failed BIOS update or some EFI firmware update or some EFI corruption of some sort. What the laptop does is that if you manage to somehow turn on your power supply, like right now I am not. Okay, here we go. So if you connect the power supply here, we have an orange light, and if we press power LED here starts blinking, as you can see, and nothing comes on the screen. You see that? And I think it loops, it does the same thing. So let's go ahead and try to figure out why this happens. On these models you need to remove this plastic cover here and this one as well. Don't stretch it too much because it's gonna be kind of hard to place it back. Let's go ahead and see how fast we can do this and if it's gonna work. It's most probably a problem with the BIOS. That is, of course, if we open the laptop up and see no signs of liquid damage or burned components or stuff like that. This is one of the cheap series of the HP laptops. They're quite good for browsing and office, watching movies and stuff like that, but that's the extent of it. Okay, at least they don't have the NVMe slot here like so, because that's the only place they could fit it. Now let's go ahead and remove the battery, because that's the first thing we always do. And since there's no actual BIOS battery, we will need to reprogram the BIOS chip, which is right here. So let's go ahead and remove the motherboard, because we don't want any heat going to the plastics, to the chassis here. Let's remove the LCD cable and the CPU fan. Okay, screws here. Let's remove the rest of the screws. This is quite an easy laptop to disassemble. Now remove the Wi-Fi antenna cables. Good. And the speakers, keyboard, trackpad, and audio board. And this should pop right off. Now, as I said, this is the BIOS chip. You can tell because it's kind of large. It's like a MOSFET, but bigger. This is a MOSFET and this is a BIOS chip. I don't know if you can tell the difference. This is quite larger. And since there's no sign of liquid damage here, and if we take the multimeter and check for any signs of shorted components, we most probably will see none because the laptop turned on. So diode mode, red probe to ground, and start. This is What is this? Ah, it's fine. Okay, here. Okay, and on the coils of the CPU. Yes, that's okay. Multimeter is not catching it. It should go up in a second. Come on. Do we have a short here? Really? Is any of these caps here shorted? What is going on here? Okay, now let's check again. And let me just check what this is drawing. Okay, something is definitely getting hot because I'm injecting 3 volts there, 1.5 volts. And something is definitely getting hot. Oh, did you see that? Is this cap here? Look at that. Look at that. So if I inject 1 volt here on this, you see that cap? You see how the ice melts around it? Let me show you under the microscope how that looks. This is the cap, and if we go ahead and freeze the area around that. By the way, the way you can freeze it is by taking this compressed air bottles and turning it upside down. And if we put this to ground and this to the coil here, you'll see. See how that cap is the only thing getting hot? I think if we zoom enough on the microscope, we can see it's actually broken. Can we? No, it's just a hair. Wait, I'll try to show you. No, it's just some hair. Okay, let's remove the memory here. And we shall remove that cap. Are we going to be this lucky? I thought we would have to just reprogram the BIOS because it's a common fault on this HPs, especially the ones with the Ryzen CPU. Let's see. Okay, cap out. If we try and measure this, it doesn't matter if it's in continuity mode. Come on, stay there. Good boy. Yep, as you can see here, it says it's 0 ohms. Oh my god. Let's go ahead and reassemble this just to check if it's gonna work or not, because it's gonna be very funny if it does. I started for an easy repair and I ended up getting an easier one. I was hoping to show you guys how we can reprogram the BIOS chip. You need one of these, of course. No, you need to stay here. You need one of these. This is a BIOS programmer. This is a TL86 866-2 Plus. It's not the latest model. I think they've come up with a new model at the moment. It's called TL866 5G or something like that. It's quite a handy tool. Let's go ahead and reconnect everything without placing any screws. Okay. Well, I'm gonna need to screw the CPU fan to hold it in place. Like so. These are enough. The LCD cable, the CPU fan, keyboard, trackpad or touchpad or mouse, whatever you want to call it. Everything else is connected. Let's put the battery here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws for the battery. We can place 4 of them. Nothing bad is gonna happen. We'll also leave that outside in case it has any sensitive data on it. Now, what if we connected the power cable and we press the power button? We have fan spin. Was that it? It's 3 amps on the power supply, so this should be booting up. Wow, there you go, there you have it. It was much easier than I expected. As it turns out, it was that cap that was shorted and was preventing the laptop from booting up. Which brings me back to, we first use our eyes and then use our brain and then we start using our hands, because I checked the motherboard for any sort of liquid damage or burned components or shorted components, and then I took the multimeter and started measuring stuff around, and when I found that there was a short, I injected some voltage to see what gets hot, and with that we managed to actually remove that cap and fix the motherboard, and hopefully we made someone happy. Well, that's it. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys. I hope you learned something, as I hope in every video you do, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.